Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the $2,000 investment that I made this morning into the stock market. We're also going to be talking more about the Roth IRA, and I know I've been beating the Roth IRA's drum pretty hard the past few videos, but that's where I'm putting my money. That's exactly what I'm doing, and I love showing and sharing my moves on the stock market with you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, if you guys are brand new to this channel, you're just coming here for the first time, well, I want to say welcome. My name is Dalton. This is dlitztv, and on this channel, we talk about all things investing. Two things I want to get out of the way up front. Number one, if you're returning this video, you're part of the 90% plus of people that are not subscribed. What the heck are you doing? And then number two, if you guys are investing into an individual brokerage account, meaning if you have an account open with Robinhood, you're investing with Robinhood and only Robinhood, or maybe you have other accounts open elsewhere that is not a Roth IRA, that's just a regular individual account, what the heck are you doing? You see, one of the best things about investing in a Roth IRA is that your money, once it's in the Roth IRA, it grows completely tax-free. Okay, so basically, if you think about it, when you invest in an individual account, and if you're a dividend investor like me, what happens is when you're paid dividends, you're actually taxed on the dividends that are paid to you. However, if you invest in a Roth IRA and dividends are paid and stay within your Roth IRA, you're not paying any taxes on top of that. You can reinvest the money, and basically all the money, the values in there are growing completely tax-free. So you want to make sure you take advantage of every single dollar when it comes to investing, and that is the best account, in my own personal opinion, that you can utilize as especially a dividend investor, but if not, any style that you choose to invest in, one of the best accounts right there. Now, something important to note about my Roth IRA, you may not agree with the strategy, that's completely fine, but you definitely don't want to just blindly copy and do exactly what I do. You want to put your own due diligence into your investments. But with my Roth IRA, I'm thinking about it sort of as an investment game, right? And the target of what I want to beat with my individual accounts is likely going to be my rate of return in my Roth IRA. You always want to beat the market. You always want to outpace the market as an investor. And so I think having a stable portfolio that at least gets the return of the market is a pretty solid, viable option. So in my Roth IRA, my current strategy is to invest in a market tracing ETF and structure it to get, returns that are proven. What I'm using is the Bogglehead Lazy 3-Fund portfolio. And in this, I basically can make these investments, don't need to think twice. I can leave my money in the market and really, I don't have to stress. I don't have to worry. I can sleep very comfortably at night knowing that my return is going to be pretty solid from this. Now, nothing's guaranteed on the stock market. I invested $2,000 at close to all-time market highs. So if this were to drop in value suddenly, I would not be worried whatsoever because I'll still continue investing into this over time, dollar cost averaging, and then that way, when it bounces back, the market's looking good, everything's heading back up, I'll be able to maximize my returns. So let me jump into my Roth IRA, which I use the M1 Finance application for. This is such a great application, definitely one of my favorites, especially for investing in a Roth IRA. If you guys wanted to sign up for the first time and you deposit $1,000, you can get $30 free by using the referral code in the description. So let me just jump right into the M1 Finance app. All right, so as you can see right here, this is my $2,000 Roth IRA portfolio. The title is there at the top of the screen. And in this, there are 3 different funds. If I click in, we got the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, or VTI. This is where a majority of my money is going. You can see there's $1,500 in here right now of that $2,000 that was invested. And this is where I'm continuing to put a bulk of my holdings into. So VTI, if you don't know much about VTI, it's Vanguard's like golden standard for tracing the stock market. This is what you try to beat as an investor. This is what I'm trying to beat with my other accounts. And basically just having that structure, having that security of knowing that I'm going to get like the return of the stock market, it's really going to be helpful in not worrying about my investments and being able to add to this continually over time without stress. We have Vanguard's Total International Stock ETF, or VXUS, which basically, I don't know much about all these different international companies. I don't want to put in a lot of the research behind it, right? And one of the best ways that you can get around that is investing in a solid ETF. So again, another Vanguard one here. This has a lot less money than the other one. again, around $400 into VXUS. And then at the very bottom, which some people may argue I don't even need to be investing into bonds right now as a young investor at 24 years old, to which I say, you know, you're probably right, but I can reallocate this. I can move funds around however I please. Right now, I have it at 5% of my portfolio. So $100 right into this bond ETF. And that's just going to hedge against, you know, if the market starts failing, bonds tend to stay relatively stable, outperform the market a little bit. But basically, it just adds a layer of protection. So if you're older and you're investing in these three different things, you know, obviously as you're gearing yourself towards retirement, let's say you're up there, you want to shift around the allocations a little bit. It might make more sense to invest more heavily into bonds. It might make more sense to shift around your portfolio allocation, just prepare yourself a little bit more for retirement. That way, if the stock market tanks, it absolutely crashes, you don't really have to worry because a lot of the funds are going to be more stable in your investments. So as you get older, you can kind of reallocate the portfolio. What's really great about this application, and something that I'm probably going to shift around my holdings in my Roth IRA, really I just wanted to get $6,000 in without having to worry about the investments that I'm making. But with M1 Finance, if you click Manage Pie here, it's super easy to edit your pie. Let's say you wanted to have less in stocks and more into bonds, right? So I went down 5% there. I could jump up 5% here and just save it in the top right there. But obviously I'm not going to do that. Just going to keep it the same for now. And this is the breakdown. Now, let's say you were like, all right, man, it's stupid to invest in ETFs. Why aren't you targeting those dividend companies, getting the maximum return on those? And you know what? You can do just that. So if you click the plus icon, you can search for any of those stocks in here. Let's say you're going for realty income, right? And it might be really a smart idea to invest in REITs into your Roth IRA, because as a real estate investment trust, you're actually required to pay your shareholders in the form of dividends. So if you go for something like realty income, right? If I click into realty income, I wanted this in my portfolio. You can see I can add it to the pie here. You can see just like that, it's been added to my pie. Now you can shift around your allocation. You can add whatever stocks, ETFs you want into this. And it's just another very solid way to structure your investments. So one thing I want to mention that I'm doing for this particular Roth IRA is I'm in a race, right? I've got $6,000 ready to go. $2,000 was already invested. You can see my cash value in the bottom left-hand corner is $4,000. I'm looking to, you know, dollar cost average, put this in over the next month before April 15th, because on April 15th, that is the tax deadline. And if you invest before the tax deadline, you can still be investing for the year of 2020. So basically I can put $6,000 in up until April 15th. And then after that, I can put another $6,000 in for the year of 2021. So right now, all the money that I'm adding into this portfolio technically counts as investments that I made in 2020. So it's really solid. Another way to maximize the investments you can make into your Roth IRA account. And so you might be worried, like, if I invest right now, how do I get it tailored towards 2020 as opposed to 2021? And M1 Finance makes it really easy. When you actually go to buy in a Roth IRA, it'll ask you for which time period you want to buy it for. So if you are just opening a Roth IRA and you're like, how do I invest for 2020 instead of 2021? Then you just, as you're buying the stock, it gives you the option to buy for the previous year. It's really simple, straightforward, a super easy application to use. And I think honestly, it's one of the best places to house your Roth IRA. All right, guys, and that's pretty much all I have for you in this video here today. I know it's pretty straightforward. If you guys do have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. I know my stuff right now, my investments aren't too exciting. I promise we're gonna get back there. As soon as I put the rest of that money into the stock market, I can start focusing on building out, you know, individual companies and other methods that I wanna be investing and sharing more information with you guys. A lot of great stuff coming out in the future. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you made it this far, click that like button and have a great day.